They call me Daenerys Stormborn to mark the one that racked Dragonstone the day I was born. I am of the blood of the dragon, of House Targaryen, who survived the doom of old Valyria. It is an ancient house name that invokes fear and power, for my ancestors ruled the 7 kingdoms of Westeros with uncontested strength for 300 years, from the time of Aegon the Conqueror to the doomed reign of my father Aerys. But my own story did not start as one of power. Like countless many in this world, I learned early how to live on my knees before those more powerful. I never knew my mother, Queen Rhaella, because the cruelty of fate meant that she left the world, even as I entered. Her last loyal subjects fled with me and my brother to Essos to escape the swords of the usurper. But even they died off until it was just me and Viserys. I spent my childhood dependent on him and the goodwill of those that sought to use our lineage to further their own ends, forever in my brother's shadow as he plotted a path back to power. I made a fool's bargain with an old sorceress in an attempt to buy my husband's life in exchange for my unborn son, who was prophesied to be the conqueror called that stallion that mounts the world. But my son perished, and so did Drogo. And as I burned the witch who betrayed me on his pyre, I went to my knees one more time as I entered the flames. Yet for the first time in my life, when the flames finally died, my story was no more that of weakness, but of strength, of primordial eldritch heat from the dawn days, of fire and blood. The birth of my dragons brought forth a power in me I have never known. I became the mother of dragons, and I laid low all those that sought to snuff out my destiny. I sojourned in the Far East to learn martial strength beyond that of just my dragons, for my enemies have grown with every step I take, and even my body must become a weapon to wield against them. I have even uncovered some of the fabled fire magic in tomes of magic in the ruins of the Freehold, something my enemies will learn to their final regret. Foul sorcerers, cruel slave masters, and their minions all fell before me as I became more than just Princess of House Targaryen, but a queen. A man claiming to be Aegon, the son of my brave brother Rhaegar, has laid claim to all of Westeros. I have parleyed with him and tried to convince him of the folly in opposing me, but to no avail. He lies. He is no true dragon. My nephew Aegon was slain when the usurper's dogs took King's Landing from my father. I have taken his measure and found him false, and I will show him the consequences of falsely bearing the Targaryen name. An iron-born pirate fancies himself a king and worthy of my hand in marriage, threatening war if I do not take him to bed. But a kraken that rises from the sea is merely a large meal for a hungry dragon. A treacherous lioness sits thee on the Iron Throne, a throne won when her brother who swore to protect my father cut him down from behind. The Lannisters call themselves Golden Lions, yet theirs is a saga of cowardly deceit and treachery. They will learn what it means when their roars wake the dragon. Margaery Tyrell seeks revenge for murder of her family and the scarring of her face at Cersei's hands, and has bent a knee to me. With the Highgarden comes the most powerful houses of the Reach into my fold. Cersei's and Euron's days are numbered, and there is more. A handsome young northern man calling himself the king in the north has sought me out, speaking of an ancient evil not seen since the Age of Heroes returning. As I stood at the very edge of the world atop the wall of the Night's Watch and saw darkness gathering in the land of always winter, I know in my bones that he is right. I have had dreams of Jon Snow, and they are intense. I have pledged my forces into alliance with him and the northern houses when the time comes. They will see that I am heir to all the 7 kingdoms, and Jon Snow will see that between us there may grow to be something more. My new world can only come once I burn the chaff of the old one away. ancient terrors from the dawn days, mummers, kings, and false queens do not belong in my new world, but they will be burned away with the old one. For I am Daenerys Stormborn, destined to forge a new world out of the old, a world where all will kneel before their one true queen.